Alan, it's been a while since you've been involved with the side here at Mansfield Town. You must be
Yeah.
delighted to be in contention once again though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's sort of been a long road to get the diagnosis that we've actually had finally, and sort of to come back and sort of break away from Jason in a physio room. It's sort of been torture, really, to be honest with you. No disrespect to him, but it's a bit soul-destroying coming in knowing that you've got to sit in the gym on your own and sort of have no one really to talk to all day. So it's nice to come back and get mixed in with the banter and get involved with the team again.
There must have been some very dark moments in the number of months that you've been out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, sort of it's quite nice to start with having a few weekends off. The novelty of everyone travelling to Eastbourne away, and you think, oh, I'm sat home here watching Soccer Saturday. But when your missus drags you around the shops, you think to yourself, I need to get myself back sooner rather than later, really. But in terms of the injury, it's just been frustrating that no one's really diagnosed it until sort of the last few weeks, really, and you sort of sometimes feel that you've wasted a couple of months for no reason and probably put yourself through operations that might not have been needed as well. So it's been frustrating on that side of it.
You're probably not going to like my next question, but with the greatest respect, you're not a spring chicken.
No.
You're over the 30-year-old mark, to say the least. I mean, were there moments where you thought, I might not play again?
Yeah, I mean, me and the physio had a chat with it and sort of said, like, you've got to consider every option, really. And I sort of pride myself on how I look after myself. I mean, I've started to put the weight on a little bit more now, but I mean, I think that's just down to old age as well. You start to, but I think a lot of it comes from sitting in cars as well. I don't think that helps a lot of footballers, really. I mean, you go out and trade and sit in a car and travel back to wherever you live, and I don't think that does your body particularly many favours. And I think that's something that's sort of hit me in the last 2 years that I never had to deal with at my time at Lincoln.
You're a talented goalkeeper, you've shown that in your career, but it must have been hard getting back on a training pitch and picking up from where you left off. It might have taken a bit of time for you to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, it's a lot harder, to be fair. I mean, pre-season you come back after having sort of 6 to 8 weeks off, but you've sort of got your eye relatively still in there. And I mean, I've been off now 4.5 months, so to get yourself back, to get your time in, your fitness, because goalkeeper fitness is totally different to everybody else's, really. And to get that back, you only get that from coming in training with the goalie coach and getting involved in situations with their lads. So I mean, to do that's going to take time, a couple of weeks. And I mean, today will probably be my 4th or 5th session back. So I mean, it's hard for me to sort of get that in. But I mean, if I'm getting myself in contention for Chasetown and get on the bench and sort of feel my way back in that way, I think it'll benefit me, really.
The pressure's all on Mansfield Town though, because you're taking 800 fans. You're going to have half the crowd there, basically. You're the side 2 divisions above Chasetown. They've got nothing to lose, haven't they?
No, they're not. It's like I suppose the same for them, really. They're mid-table in their league. They've got nothing to play for, so to speak. So this is their number 1 game, and this is going to be a cup final for them with sort of 800 away fans come. They're going to sort of have a right nice atmosphere to play at their home ground, and that sort of tends to raise their performances, really. So I mean, you just got to sort of take it on its merits and not expect too much, because sort of the gulf between the leagues now is not as big as what it used to be. You're looking at Alfreton, for example. There's not a lot between them and sort of most blue square teams as well. So you've just got to make sure first and foremost you keep it nice and tight and hopefully let the quality shine through.
Coming back into the squad, as the manager made it very clear to yourself and to all the players, in fact, that Wembley is but a distant dream. It's this weekend that's the most important game, and you can't get carried away. I
mean, you've got, like, the biggest cliche in football, you can take one game at a time, and there's no sort of great example than this weekend, to be fair. But I mean, you look at the teams potentially, if you get through, you've still got Luton, a fantastic team, Gateshead are on a fantastic run, and Darlington are a big club as well. So potentially, if all 4 teams got through, it's a big competition, so to speak. So it's going to be a tough one, but like I say, you've got to make sure you get yourself through, and worst case scenario, getting back to Field Mill.
And just to finish on a different note today, I understand you've been doing some charity work for, is it the Richard Butler Fund that you've set up with some fellow ex-teammates?
Yeah, it's Richard Butcher. He used to play for Notts County, played with Lincoln as well, and he died 6 weeks ago, aged 29. Myself, his widow, and a lot of our ex-teammates from Lincoln have set up a memorial fund just to raise money to have 2 permanent memorials, one at Lincoln and Macclesfield. We've got our own website as well created. Just hoping for as many fans and companies to sponsor, and a lot of us doing a Lincoln 10k run as well in the start of April, just to raise money for it.
Testament to the player and the man that you played with.
Yeah, definitely. He's a fantastic lad, and I mean, to die at 29 so suddenly, just in his sleep, it's devastating, as well as sort of losing Keith Alexander 10 months prior to that. It's something that we all sort of feel quite strongly against because we're sort of quite a tight-knit group. To be fair, the lads that played together and got to the playoff final, so I thought it'd be a nice fitting tribute to have a little memorial for him.
How are you looking for fans of all colours, whether they be Lincoln City fans, Notts County fans or Mansfield Town fans? How can they get involved?
We've got a website which is www.richardbutchermemorial.com. You can go on, there's various ways to pay. Obviously you can sponsor us to do the 10k run. There's companies want to sponsor as well. We've got a lot of press getting involved like Sky and BBC, so there's sort of company logos can be visible as well. So we're just hoping for whatever support. If you can donate a £5 or a £10, anything you can, it all helps because we're sort of ultimately trying to raise £5,000 for it. So if you can put the hand in the pocket, I'd be greatly appreciated.
Adam, big game this weekend. Chase Town in the quarter-final of an FA Trophy, one step further towards Wembley perhaps.
Yeah, obviously it's gonna be a tricky tie. They seem to have good cup runs, so it's going to be a tough game. But the position we're in at the minute is a big game for us yet.
What do you know about Chase Town?
I went to watch them Tuesday, and they're a decent side, to be honest with you. They're a big side, very aggressive in your face, and they've got some decent players. So yeah, it will be a tricky tie.
Look at their cup history. They've got quite a pedigree when it comes to knocking sides above them in the league structure out of cups.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, they always seem to have decent cup runs, whether it's in this competition or the FA Cup. So they've obviously got some kind of trick up the sleeve for these cup competitions. But we're aware of that, and we've got to make sure that we're on top of our game because we know that obviously they'll be up in their game. The Well, if you want to look at it like that, you can look at it like that, can't you? I'd rather look at it that it's another game. There's a football pitch and 2 football teams, and obviously we're going to be expected to win. And like I say, we've got to make sure we prepare right, and we go there to win the game. What's
the mood like in the Mansfield Town camp at the moment?
Yeah, it's good, to be honest with you. Obviously, we're disappointed where we are in the league. I mean, we've got a few games on teams, and we'll have a few more after Saturday, I imagine. But obviously, we want to be doing better in the league. That's always our main focus. We want to get out of this league. But the mood in the camp's as good as it's ever been. We're looking forward to Saturday. We know obviously at the end of it there's a trip to Wembley. So any competition that you're playing with a kind of an end result like that, you want to be in it till the end. So yeah, the boys are buzzing and looking forward to Saturday.
If you look at the league table in the cold light of day, is the FA Trophy now the sole priority for this club?
It's a tricky question. I mean, obviously at the end of the day we're Mansfield Town, and to be honest with you, we should never be saying the FA Trophy is our main priority, but at the end of the day, facts are facts, and we are where we are in the league, and this is a big competition for us now. I think we owe something back to the fans, and maybe a trip to Wembley or kind of, I'd like to say soften the blow, but I know what Mansfield fans are like, I know what they expect, but we've got to look at it, and it's our next game, which is always the most important, and we want a little bit of success this season. You've
said to me in the past that you've seen the Mansfield Town fans at their best, 800 travelling across to Chase Town this weekend. That's going to be half the capacity of the ground. They're going to be at the best this weekend.
To be honest with you, they're awesome. They've always been awesome. They've always been good to me, and I know when you give them something to kind of feed on, they'll give you a lot of support back. I mean, like I say, I went to watch Chase Town on Tuesday, and there was Mansfield Town fans there watching the game, so that just proves to you how much it means to them. Yeah, and it'll be nice to give them something to sing about.
Cheers.